The child you used to be. You sometimes think about the child you used to be, not because you wish to go back, but because you miss certain things they carried so effortlessly. You miss the certainty, the way they believed life would make sense one day, the way they thought adulthood was a destination rather than a journey. Back then, you imagined that growing older meant becoming wiser, stronger, more certain of yourself. You imagined that one day you would wake up and finally feel as though you knew what you were doing. Yet here you are, older than you ever imagined, and still trying to figure it all out. How curious that is. When you were young, a year felt like forever. Summer holidays seemed endless. Birthdays took an eternity to arrive, and time moved so slowly that you hardly noticed it passing. Now entire years disappear in what feels like a moment. You blink and another season has gone. Another birthday arrives. Another chapter closes. And you cannot quite understand where the time went. You remember the things you once believed, the dreams that felt inevitable, the promises you made to yourself, the person you were certain you would become. You remember lying awake at night imagining your future, certain that life would be bigger, brighter, simpler, and perhaps in some ways it is. But perhaps the child you used to be never imagined how heavy certain days would feel. They never imagined the disappointments, the losses, the people who would leave, or the versions of themselves they would eventually outgrow. And yet, there is something about that child that still remains, hidden beneath the responsibilities, beneath the worries, beneath all the years. They appear unexpectedly, in the songs that transport you backwards, in old photographs, in familiar scents, in the memories that arrive without invitation. Suddenly, for a moment, you are not who you are now. You are who you were, standing at the beginning of your life, believing anything was possible. And perhaps that is why those memories hurt a little. Not because the past was perfect, it wasn't, but because the child you used to be had not yet learned how fragile things could be. They had not yet discovered heartbreak. They had not yet experienced the ache of losing people they thought would stay forever. They had not yet realized that some dreams change, and some disappear altogether. They still believed that everyone they loved would always be there. What a beautiful illusion that was. But if you could speak to that child now, you would not warn them about every disappointment. You would not tell them about every mistake. You would not burden them with all the things you now know. Instead, you would thank them for their hope, for their courage, for their curiosity, for continuing to believe in life before life gave them reasons not to. Because the truth is, you are still carrying pieces of that child with you, even now. In every dream you pursue, in every kindness you offer, in every reason you find to keep going, they are still there, quietly reminding you that the world can still be beautiful. And perhaps growing older is not about leaving that child behind. Perhaps it is about learning how to protect them and carrying them gently through the years until the very end.